Hi, what is up, you guys? I am going to be live later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So that is, we are Monday, May 13th. So I'll be live at 9 p.m. Hope to see you there. I wanted to talk to you about something really interesting that is happening on social media right now, and that is this thing that the kids are calling Block Party 2024, and what they're doing is they are mass blocking celebrities to try to hit their ad revenue and influence. And I'll tell you exactly why this started and why I kind of think it was inevitable. And we can talk about this a little bit more on the live if you want to. So this started with the Met Gala of 2024. And there are two major things that happened, which are what I think were the linchpins of this entire... Actually, no, there was one linchpin. But there were two things that happened with the Met Gala that made it so unbelievably on the nose to the dystopian times that we're living in, that I think it just made it impossible for people to ignore. So they were like, you know what, we are done. Celebrity culture is done. This over consumption is done. We're seeing a wealth disparity. We're in the midst of all this inflation. People can't afford groceries, and then we're watching this event where it costs $75,000 just to attend, and these celebrities are wearing these ultra expensive, sometimes like 3 years worth of a salary outfits for a lot of Americans. But let me explain to you the two things that happened. So it's a lot of actually Gen Z that's really upset about this. So it's almost the younger generation that is mostly upset, but everyone seems to be on board, maybe for different reasons, but on board. So the first thing that happened with the Met Gala, well, first of all, where are we at in the world right now? We have some wars going on in other countries. We have inflation going on. Gas prices are high. Rent is high. People are really struggling, and just the whole feeling across the entire world is just chaos. So here you have the Met Gala, which is an event for literally like the top 1% of the top 1% of all the artists and designers ever, right? Okay, so that's essentially what it is. So that alone, just having an event like this while you're having like protests and things like that in New York, even though I don't agree with a lot of protests, just having an event like this is already like kind of odd, just given the state of the world. But now let's get into the actual theme of the event. So the Met Gala originally started out as a charity event in order to fund the costume department at the Museum of Metropolitan Art in New York City. And it started that way. A really cool history is it used to not be such a big red carpet event. It was literally just a charity event, and it was Princess Diana who walked the red carpet and allowed herself to be photographed in her gown that started this trend of it being like a huge elitist, just red carpet coveted event. And I do believe it has now become a cash cow for Vogue magazine, which is one of the few magazines, fashion magazines that's still in print. Many of them don't do print as much anymore, but Vogue you will see everywhere, and I think this event might be one of the reasons. Who knows? But the theme, every year they have a theme, and that's what people dress up to. So this year the theme was the Garden of Time. So that theme was based on a short story called The Garden of Time. What is this story about? Well, this story is about an uber wealthy couple who is attempting to hoard beauty and wealth. They have an angry mob who is descending on their home, and in order to keep the mob at bay, they go to their garden and pick essentially these like gorgeous flowers of time. So every time they pick one of these flowers out of the ground, they turn back time a little bit. And the more they pick these flowers, the more they're able to keep this mob at bay. Given that, with the backdrop of everything that's going on, and it was just, it was almost too on the nose. Now, major issue number 2. you had this random, and this was the actual linchpin. Hailey Bailey was the linchpin. So you had this random, I didn't even know who she was until all of this happened, but I guess you had this huge influencer online. She's got like 10 million followers on TikTok, I think, which she has lost a significant amount since this has happened. But she was invited to some of the events at the Met Gala to cover it and put it on her social media. She was given a gown to wear. So she attended the the events outside of the Met Gala, and she wore this Marie Antoinette inspired dress, right? And to make a cute little social media post, I guess, she thought it would be a cute idea to make a sound to the background of her video. So the sound was "Let Me Eat Cake" by Marie Antoinette, and that was the background of her video. So this really upset a lot of people. So let's go into the history of "Let Me Eat Cake," why people felt like this is tone deaf, why it upset people, and how so unbelievably on the nose this is for what's happening right now. So "Let Me Eat Cake," we're not totally confirmed if Marie Antoinette actually said this, but this was right around the time of the French Revolution, and there was a huge wealth disparity. You had a few ultra wealthy people that looked at the general public down like they were peasants, and they were so out of touch with the struggles that the general people had. And it was so bad for a lot of people. They didn't have clean clothes to wear, they didn't have food, they didn't even have bread to eat. So it is rumored, or the legend is, that someone said to Marie Antoinette, "The people don't have bread." And she said, "Well, let them eat cake." Cake was a delicacy at the time that the majority of the people couldn't afford. Fast forward to today, in the video that Hailey Bailey made in her dress attending the Met Gala, she did that sound. I don't know if you guys remember, but about a month ago, keep in mind our inflation, eggs, the prices of eggs are out of control. The price of chicken and beef are out of control. Any like good protein, the price is out of control. So in response to this, the CEO of Kellogg's said people should start embracing cereal for breakfast. Since regular things are so expensive, let them eat cereal. And that's what he said. That literally happened this year. And then this issue with the Met Gala. So after this, a lot of people had enough. They had enough with celebrity culture. They had enough with all of these things. So they said, we're not following these people anymore. And now there is a mass blocking effort for a lot of really big celebrities. And why is my thumb? I'm so sorry. It's even going up to the Taylor Swifts and the Beyoncés and the Lizzos and all of this stuff. So we'll see what happens with this. But it's just wild how on the nose and how on the money these things were. It's almost like divine intervention to wake people up. But I always think it's a positive thing. Anytime you look at celebrity culture and analyze where you're spending your money, I do believe in capitalism and I do believe in a free market, but it has to be an ethical free market. And those ethics and that consciousness on what you spend has to come not only from the person that runs the business, it also has to come from the consumer. Because a lot of people are saying some of these celebrities are like hoarding opportunities, they're hoarding wealth, but the reason they're able to do that is because they get so many eyeballs. It's not a bad business decision for someone to hire a Kardashian or a Beyonce, even if they don't necessarily have the merit, the talent, or they deserve those. But obviously, it benefits the business. The reason it benefits the business is because they get eyeballs like you and I. They get so many eyeballs. We make them what they are. So, yes, my face is so red. It's really hot out here. It's like 90 degrees. Being someone who runs their business ethically is very important, but also being a conscious consumer in a free market. You get to choose who you support. You get to choose where your eyeballs go. You get to choose where you spend money. So think about where you're spending these things and think about what you're doing. And there's one more thing I want to end with. I grew up a bleeding heart liberal. I always thought the Democratic Party was the party of the working class. But let me just I'm going to challenge you to do something. Look at who Joe Biden is asking for major donations from. Look at who he's doing these fundraisers with. He's doing it with Hollywood elites, with Hollywood celebrities. That's who he's asking for money from. That's who he's asking for endorsements from. That's who he's doing fundraisers with. A lot of Trump's money, yeah, I'm sure some of it comes from like huge donors. That's true for everyone, but a lot of it is grassroots. It's regular people that are supporting this man, that are donating to him. So that's something that should be very much considered. Also, the state of our economy under Trump and the way it is now. The Democratic Party is not what you think it is. It is now the party of the elites. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in a let them eat cake society. I like America to be America. So let's not do that. So I do agree this is a positive movement, but let's keep our heads straight. And let's also keep in mind that a lot of these young people, they are canceling these celebrities because they're not speaking out for Palestine. That's not why I don't want anything to do with these celebrities. I don't want anything to do with these celebrities because they are hypocrites, because they will drive past homeless encampments in Los Angeles and then go on Jimmy Kimmel and lecture you. They will drive past homeless people, people dying of fentanyl, people suffering. They will drive past all of this stuff and get on television and lecture you. They are hypocrites. And then they will shame you for having different political opinions than them. Meanwhile, their own houses are not clean. And they will either preach a lifestyle on you while they live in complete degeneracy, or they don't live in degeneracy and they will preach degeneracy onto you. And one more thing I want to end with. The family that you could almost equate to American royalty, even though I hate saying this, it just pains me saying this, but you have to admit it, as much as I don't like them and as much as I don't want this to be true, which is another reason why it's really good that we're having this conversation. If there is one family that you could pin right now in pop culture as like a family of royalty, it's the Kardashians. How do we even know who the Kardashians are? How did they get famous? Because of a tape. Because of one of the most degenerate reasons. None of them have talent. None of them really have merit. They were just born into a name, and they'll make brand after brand after brand and show after show, and everyone just eats it up. Why? Why? Because they were born under a certain name? Let's go back to celebrating hard work. Let's go back to celebrating merit and talent and true beauty, not made by Mattel beauty. Anywho, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching my car rant. I'll see you later. Bye.